This is the real Remy Brand, and I support Crumb TV.
It's IG No Play Zone. You are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, this is Reggae Boy, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
And you're now watching Crumb TV.
What's up? This is your brother Walsh Red, and you're now watching Crumb TV.
Peace, Ashe, Islam, Namaste, Hotep, Grand Rising, Konnichiwa, Ni Hao, Islam, Assalamu Alaikum, Walaikum Salam, Oseyo, Holito, Bom Dia. Whatever the greeting is in your respective language, I am your humble brother Crumb here for another installation of Crumb TV. You already know how I like to get things started, family. I got to tell you who I am, where you can find me at. I'm on YouTube, so if you are on YouTube, smash that subscribe button, Crumb TV. I'm also on Instagram, family. If you are on Instagram, give me a Grammy, Crumb TV _. Last but not least, I am on Facebook. What better place for your favorite races? Of course, me, your brother Crumb. So this is another installation of Crumb TV. It's called Reptilians Vs Draconians. Let me just acknowledge my first responders, and then I'm going to let you know who the esteemed master teacher is. So with that said, first and foremost, we have my brother Isaac Stevens. He says, let's get it. Now, he was here before it even jumped off. He was on this. He's only exclusive for YouTube. Everybody else can't get in first, so technically he was before the first. And we have officially number one, my sister Kai, the creatress. I know she goes by another name on YouTube. She goes by many names. I just really like that name, Kai, the creatress. She says peace. We saying peace back, sis. I see you. I love you. Most importantly, I appreciate you. So with that said, number 3 in the building. I don't even know where we are. Number 2, number 3. But number 3 in the building is on Twitter. We are on Twitter. I always never mention Twitter. Always never. King Baphomet. He says, good morning. I wasn't expecting good morning, but hey, you know, I'm your humble brother, so good morning. All right, so with that said, family, this is another installation of Crumb TV. It's called Reptilians vs Draconians. You know, I am not the master teacher. I am the master student. So with that said, we sit at the feet of the master teachers. They teach, we learn. So with that said, family, I want to introduce the master teacher. As always, you know him, the minister of information. Peace and love, brother. How are you?
Peace and love, peace and love. Hey, listen. I was just about to tell you, brother, you got to download some hand claps, the sound box.
Whoa!
No, seriously, so when you bring certain guests on, you hit the clap sound bite, the audience and all that shit. Make it a real loud point.
You know what? Okay, now that the minister has called me out humbly, because he's a humble brother as well, next time I go live, we will have it.
Claps.
We will have it.
All right, so hey, listen, Crumb TV. Peace to the planet, man. It's your boy, Minister of Information, aka Chef Jay Ponder, in the kitchen whipping it up. If you're on Instagram, go give me a Grammy right now at Minister Informing. The IG is Minister Informing. Follow me at Chef Jay Ponder also. So listen, we're about to get this thing together today. We're gonna talk about something that I think it has been. There it is. Give me a Grammy right there. Something that we've been talking about on Crumb TV for about a week now. Last time we was on here, we spoke about the certain celestial beings dealing with Urantia. Now we're going to dove into the real and true intergalactical empires. And when Brother Crumb asked me to talk about the Reptilians and the Draconians, I was humbled to come do it. So as y'all know, grab your pen, your paper, your pencil, your paper, write down this spell. This is the only way we're going to be able to undo the miseducation. That's by write down a new spell. And we're going to chant this spell. And the chanting is me talking to you. This is the chant. Write down the chant.
let me just confirm that before we move on. Family, give him a Grammy on Instagram. Minister Informing. But this is the thing, family. I've only had the Minister of Information on the platform. I've never had Chef J Ponder. Let's just be 5,000. If you are interested in Chef J Ponder, just Google it. He's got the SEO game on lock, search engine optimization. Just Google it, and he's the whole first page. But no, okay. So with that said, brother, let's move on. And I just want to tell a story real quick before I pass the mic. So I did a thing on Instagram, and this is not a shameless plug. I really did a video on Instagram, and I was talking about reptilians, and somebody was like, you know, they were kind of on the low fighting me about it and trying to tell me different things because I said we are the reptilians, and then he was trying to say, I said, listen, I understand what you're trying to say based off what David Icke told you, but what I'm trying to tell you is that there's more than reptilians. What you're thinking about is something else. So, brother, I guess we can start there. There's more than just reptilians.
Yeah, and you know what? You know, peace and honor to David Icke, Zachariah Stitchens, Professor Rick Smith, because those are some of the channels that I studied and went through to have an understanding of the intergalactical empire. And as I'm going to mention here in a minute, the first mention of Urantia also took me to a intergalactical empire, you see. And I think it was a couple weeks ago, they just posted, it was on Google, you know, the Google News, that scientists have now realized that there are different dimensions or universes within our mind. And they're now trying to tap into that. And I mean, you know, as they say, according to science, but they're now figuring that part out. Like, wow, the universe is really in our mind. And we create it that way. So anyway, a group of queens were mentioned, and they were called the Satyr Queens. And the Satyr Queens had dominion. And listen to the words I'm using, family. I'm going to use words like dominion and empire and dynasty and kingdoms, because that's what we all come from. Our predecessors, our ancestors in Africa, they come out of a monarchy. We all come from monarchy. What up, king? What up, queen? We say it today. And that idea of that monarchy comes out of a governmental system known as the feudal system. Write this shit down now. It comes out of what's called the feudal system. Google feudal system, feudal lords. You're going to see words like manor, which today is real estate. So today, what we're going to talk about, and this was inspired by Professor Rick Smith, I'm going to talk about flesh and bone versus wood and stones. Now, what is the flesh and bone? The flesh and bone is the human race, because we're a commodity. Stones are the structures. You know, we dig up stones, diamonds, wood, houses, buildings. We worship wood and stones, and we're just flesh and bone. So the intergalactic empire is based upon mass real estate throughout the galactical system. And our system being called Kepler, Kelper. Look up the Kepler system. So this is the stuff we got to know, Crom. You understand, brother? This is the information that we have to understand. And before I can really dove into some stuff, we've all heard of Neberu, right? Neberu and the Anunnaki. And we think that the Anunnaki are for whatever reason, an intergalactical alien race of beings. The Anunnaki were no other than the Akkadians. The Akkadians, and the word is Akkidan, I believe it is. The Akkadians were the Anunnaki. And the Anunnaki was just the offspring of Enlil, I'm sorry, from their father, Anu. But see, Anu was already chosen by the Orion Empire. And the Orion Empire is the Aryan Empire. That's ARI-AN. And from the Aryans, or the Aryans, comes the idea of this pale super race coming to this planet. Now you have the Orion Empire, which were the kingdom, the kings, not queendom, kingdom, ruled by a group of kings out of the Orion Empire. Subsequently, their queendom, the female called the Satyr Queens, and the Satyr Queens is where the Jewish Torah gets the word Satan, and the SS in Germany, the SS Reich was a part of the Satyr Queendom. And that's why the Germans had a close connection with the Anunnaki in space technology. In fact, when Hitler was captured, and we know that's a misnomer. Hitler went to South America and Brazil, and Hitler is still alive today. No, he died a couple of years ago. I apologize. But he set up his empire in Antarctica because these Anunnaki had already told Hitler that there was land beyond the fucking ice caps, that he can go rule over there, right? And see, we're not talking about space going up. Space goes out. Space goes out. When you see a rocket take off, go Google a rocket launching from NASA. They always go up and they go in the arc because they're going out. Space is out. There's land beyond Antarctica. Anyway, that's what Hitler went to. So Hitler having this technology in the 1940s, 42, 43, 44, 45, they had jets. Now, why is it that having a jet in 1942 is a big deal? Because we only had propeller planes. Google how long it was from 1942, our propeller planes flying, and Google backwards to the Wright brothers. How long have we been flying over here in America? Germany
Not long.
had levitating bell-shaped UFOs. And the term UFO come from what, Crumb?
The term UFO originally comes from the term Foo Fighter. The family may only be familiar with the term Foo Fighter in regards to an alternative rock band in America. But if you go back prior to that band, a Foo Fighter was an orb. It was a fire, a glowing light. Sometimes it would be blue, orange, but it would lock coordinates with these propeller planes, and it would electrically shut down the engines. And the first time a UFO is ever recorded on official paper, not like some hillbilly in the middle of nowhere who says he's been butt raped. Not him. I'm talking about official military op people in midst of a war zone. Regular anything doesn't fly in this airspace at this time. They reported that these things would lock onto their planes. They couldn't nosedive. They couldn't barrel roll. They couldn't do anything to shake this thing. And this was the first reported UFO, and this was in ally with the Nazi regime.
That's right, and exact. And we also have to understand the same time that Germany was developing the aeronautical sciences, they were also underwriting the new science for underwater technology through what was called an Unterseeboot, or what we call submarines now. They used to trump us on that technology in America. But of course, when supposedly the World War II, the Nazi Germany was defeated, America took half of the scientists that Hitler had, and Russia took the other scientists, because Russia is right there. And the scientists that Russia took were a little bit more smarter than the ones we took in America. And that's when the Russians launched Sputnik Now, Sputnik was just a satellite, but it gave them a aerial view of the entire fucking planet. Beyond North and South America, beyond Greenland, beyond Australia. They gave them another sight of land. This is the great race to space. We haven't had a fucking interest in the moon since the time of the Sumerians. In the 1960s, all of a sudden we're going to the moon. The moon is a fucking satellite, family. The moon is a satellite. It was going to tap into the big satellite. Go ahead, brother.
You know, I just wanted to talk backwards at this point because you mentioned so much in the beginning all the way up until this point. So if attempting to talk backwards, there was a movie about Captain America. Because keep in mind, we're talking, but I want the family to keep in mind, don't think we're not talking about reptilians and draconians right now. I don't want you to think that. So just to kind of connect the dots for some people who may not have had that aha moment, in the cartoon movie, not the official one, in the cartoon movie of Captain America when he's fighting Red Skull. Red Skull, Captain America is of course America. Red Skull is Nazi Germany. When Captain America breaks in to the innermost laboratory, the Nazi Germans are in cahoots with this alien force of beings, and these are reptilian-esque images, and Captain America is like, what? I showed this in a prior video and I can't show it now because for whatever reason all my videos are skipping now. Nonetheless, so now if we work backwards, so now Captain America exposes our children to these Germans working with these reptilian alien forces. But if we go back to what you were saying early in the game at the beginning of this video, we're dealing with two European men, two Tamahu. One name is David Icke, the other name is Zachariah Stitchin. When you think David Icke, I need you to think reptilian. Now, the source of David Icke's information, and he will tell you, is a man by the name of Credo Mutwa. Because when the reptilians first came, they came where? To South Africa. Where is Credo Mutwa from? South Africa. Who is the first person to ever give us a reptilian story? Credo Mutwa. Now, he is the master teacher. David Icke is not the master teacher, it's the master student. Go to azquotes.com. David Icke's biggest quote is, the smartest man I've ever met is Credo Mutwa. Credo MTWA. I think it's just that. MTWA. Credo Mutwa. I'm sorry. MUTWA. Credo Mutwa. So now, that's one side of things. Only on the reptilian side. If you go Stitchin, he's going to give you a text that's coming out of Samaria. He's the first one. I don't want to say the first one, but the one that we know about who really went into that text and pulls out the Inky and Enlil story. And of Inky and Enlil, one is on the side of the reptilians, the other is on the side of the Greys. Brother, can you, I learned this from you, so can you tell me the Zachariah Stitchin, Greys versus reptilians, and then we can get to the Draconians in just a second.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. We have to, I mean, it's so much shit, man. We have to study Zachariah Stitchins. We have to study David Icke. And we have to study Dr. David Blair.
How did I forget?
Right. Oh. Come on now.
Yeah.
Dr. David Blair speaks about it. Bobby Hemmett speaks about it. Dr. Malachi York speaks about it. The Bible speaks about it. The Torah speaks about it. The Holy Quran speaks about it. Rasulullah Muhammad wa alayhi salam, he was visited by a being, Jibrail, and Jibrail tells Rasulullah Muhammad wa alayhi salam to Iqra. So These stories are already been told everywhere, man. You know what I mean?
Indeed. Indeed.
Huh?
So, Stan, when we're dealing with Inky and
What you
Enlil,
need me to do
a lot of people will tell you
right now?
Inky, it will tell let me okay, yeah. That they'll tell you that Inky, I'm sorry, excuse me, Enlil was a reptilian himself or the creator of the reptilians, and Enlil was the creator of the European race via what they interpreted as the Greys. And these are just interpretations to be taken loosely, and I thoroughly encourage you to do your own research. But these are creation stories, because a lot of these evolutionary scientific details are nothing. Darwin wasn't even a scholar. Darwin was a fucking rich white boy who parents wanted to get him out the house, so they sent him to the Galapagos Islands, and his ass wrote a journal, and people fucked up and took the shit seriously. It wasn't even Darwin that was a problem. It was his cousin who was the real scientist. But I won't even go into that, because that goes to eugenics. I think his name was Charles. But anyway, I'm sorry, definitely not Charles. But anyway,
Darwin's name. You talking about not Laudrup Starr, other guy. I know you're talking about. I got you. I'm with you.
So, but nonetheless, so the story of evolution is murky as it is, and those fools definitely did not get it right. But now, when we're dealing with these other stories, I'm saying that take it with a grain of salt is definitely up for interpretation, because it's none of it is truly homogenous. Brother, let me get into these.
I got you. I mean, cut your wisdom, but I want to draw this point. I want to draw this point real quick for sake of time. Now, I want to go back and reset the stage to get into this draconian information, because we have to understand the intergalactical empires, as I was saying in the beginning. These intergalactic empires are out for real estate. And this is according to Professor Rick Smith, who I also honor for putting me on the information. And his lecture actually is dealing with the Moorish legacy. The Moorish legacy, flesh and bone versus wood and stone. You may want to go check that out on YouTube. But this is my interpretation, my interpolation. Interpretation is different from interpolation. This is my interpolation, right? Flesh and bones being human stock on Earth. The wood and stones being the real estate of the Earth. Not just the Earth, but the entire galactical system called Kepler, as I mentioned earlier. Kepler is our system of stars, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, of light system. This is our light system. And the rulers of this, and this is what it is. And the rulers, because it's really the empire of light versus the legion of darkness. You see, now you got to pay attention. The Orion Empire, right? The Orion Empire exists of the Aryans, and you spell it ARI-AN. The AN represents the Anu. And Anu was the one that was chosen. He was chosen over all by the Sata queens to rule the dominion, our system. And he deployed his two sons, Inke and Enlil, to rule over that system. You see that? Now you go into the biblical narrative of Lucifer being kicked out of the heavens by Christ Michael to come down. And Lucifer tells you in the Bible, as he took Jesus up on the second mountain, Lucifer tells Jesus what? Bow to me, and all the kingdoms of earth I will give to you that was given unto me. Lucifer tells Jesus this. And Jesus said what? Get ye behind me, Satan. But that was the temptation. Lucifer confessed to ruling this entire kingdom that we call earth and the dominion beyond earth, right? So the Aryans, the devils, the supposed superior race, the pale Nordic minded This is the idea that Hitler was trying to recreate the blonde hair and the blue eyes and the high cheekbones, the perfect race. And they're not to be confused with the Palladians, because the Palladians had similarities to the Aryans. But the Aryans come from the Orion Empire. You had another empire called what? The Canis Empire, or the Syrians. And this is where we get the three sons, or the dog stars. The dog stars are called the Syrians, and the beings from the dog stars are called Dukes. DK. There are no vowels. Dukes. And the Dukes were the feudal lords of this system. When I say feudal lords, think of a governor. They became the feudal government system for Earth. And these are the Dukes. Now, what's interesting is Anu being chosen by the Satar Queens to help govern this dominion, because it's two fashions. You have the Satar Queens, right? And then you have the Syrians, the Dukes, the Canines from Canis Major. So you have the Syrians and the Orions. They came together to help rule this system, this empire. Anu was chosen by the Satar Queens to be the governor in their interests. And Anu divided the kingdom between Enki and Enlil. You see that? Now, the creation story of how the human race was created spawned out of that of Enki and Enlil and their sister manufacturing these race of beings to work. And these race of beings would work and harvest all the minerals from the earth. You know, all the faucite, all the coal, all the gold, diamonds, whatever minerals that was on this planet system, they had dominion over those minerals. So now we're back talking about wood and stones again. They were going to create their flesh and bone to harvest the wood and stones for them. You see that? Let's try it this way. The United Nations and the League of Nations, they are responsible and they report to the Intergalactic Empire. That's who they report to. The League of Nations on this planet, they report to a higher power. They're just middle management. So the Canines, or the Dukes of War, or we call the Dogs of War, they were from Syria. Now we have the Orions and the Syrians. When are we going to talk about the Reptilians and the Dracons? What I'm trying to tell you that in order to understand what and who the Reptilians were, you have to go back and study the Satar Queens. You have to go back and study the Orion Empire before you understand the Draconians coming from Dracos. That's the star system that Anu comes from. See, if you read about Anu, then you would know about Draco. And you would know about the Draconians. And you will understand that the Draconians came here, not all of them, a handful of them, and because they were hemophiliacs, because on their planet, they have a red sun. Our sun emits UV rays, ultraviolet rays. The Draconians cannot withstand the UV rays. It's just their planet has a different sun. So coming to our planet, they must stay in dark places like Slovenia, Romania, places that are cloudy and dark and dreary all the time, that keeps out a lot of sunlight. Now, we can tie that bloodline back to Count Dracula. Now, the word count is just like sire or noble. It's just a title. So Count Dracula was the count or the duke. The duke, the word duke or duke. Look up what a duke is. Look up in medieval time, what was the role of a duke? And then think about the dukes from Syria. I was just telling you about the canines, to get an idea how the dukes look from Canis Major. They look like have you guys ever seen the werewolf movie? The lichens. They look like lichens. They're huge, werewolf looking motherfuckers. And they were said to be cannibals. These are the Dukes, right? Now the Aryans were about 9 foot tall, blonde hair, pale. Those were the Aryans from the Orion Empire. And you have to understand, because empires conquered different territories, the empire actually became an amalgamation of people. You see that? When you say America, you have to think about at least 7 to 8 different races when you say America. It's just like saying a Arcadian or a reptilian or a dracon. What empire they come from? From which intergalactic empire do the Draconians come from? Can you understand the Draco star system? So anyway, the Draconians, Romania. We're talking about the hemophiliacs. Count Drucola having a son by the name of Vlad the Impaler. Look this up. Vlad, V, not G. Vlad the Impaler was said to actually drink the blood of the man on the field as he killed him, because he was a Draconian. Matter of fact, he was half Draconian and half Earthling. That's what Vlad the Impaler was. So that's where you get your narrative of a vampire once being fighting with the struggles of being human, but also fighting with the struggles of being a vampire. So that's who Vlad the Impaler was. Go ahead.
So, I mean, because I know your pronunciation was right and exact. I just want to do the Hollywood pronunciation. Vlad the Impaler, his father was Count Dracula.
Oh, that's it, Count Drucola.
And these people consumed blood. Count Drucola. That's right and exact. You know me, my mama raised me in front of a TV. Press 1 if you never heard Drucola, and you definitely heard Dracula. Let me just press 1 because I'm from the hood, brother. A lot of this is new to me. I'm a master's student. I'm good at learning.
so
I learned something today.
So listen, now I'm gonna give you the backstory or a history plot twist to Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler being the son of Count Drucola, of course they're hemophiliacs. Yeah, we leave it at that, because I don't want to get to the point of the evolutionary scale where these foreigners not from our area figured that to survive their lineage they had to breed with a primate. We won't get into that, the troglodyte nigga. So anyway, Vlad the Impaler, right, was captured by the Ottoman Empire. Once he was captured by the Ottoman Empire, he was tasked by Muhammad. I think it was Muhammad I of the Ottoman Empire. And this is where the Moors say, who took the head off the Byzantine serpent of ETC? When did it happen? And they contributed to being Muhammad taking the head off of Satan. Byzantine, they say. And they're referring to the Byzantine Empire, which was toppled by the Ottoman Empire. But Vlad the Impaler was captured by the Ottoman Empire and was tasked to go bring Muhammad back a young boy, a young Roman boy, to bring him back to him, and Vlad didn't do it. Go look it up. Vlad the Impaler didn't follow orders. In fact, Vlad the Impaler escaped and went back, and he got his troops and came back and tried to fight against the Ottoman Empire. This is history. Vlad the Impaler is written in history, human history. You can trace Vlad the Impaler back to his father, Count Drucola. And they can't really give you the origins of Count Dracula, other than he was a Draconian. And then you go back to the Draconians, like I just told you, and you realize you got to go to the Draco star system. Just like our ancestors told us we come from Sirius B.
Well,
that's what in Africa, they say we come from the dog star. Now, what dog star I'm talking about? The dog star in the Syrian Empire. The dog star in the Syrian Empire. You have the Orion Empire, the Syrian Empire. The Dracos is a star system within the empire. So anybody that's from the Draco star system belongs to the Syrians. So go ahead, brother.
You know, I truly feel we are transcending into the realm of master occultists, because as I think, you know, some schools of thought, they'll say, oh, we from America, and some schools of thought will say we from Africa, you know. And I think Crumb TV is one of the only places where we're gonna go outer space with this. Y'all be like, well, we're from here and we're from there. And when we look at, you know, at certain conversations, and I don't want to say spaces up, you know, we've established spaces out, fine. I'm not gonna, you know, go too deep into that in this conversation, but I want to challenge the family to say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's bigger than just this plot of land that we are on, and there's more to the story. I want to at least say that so that I don't scare people off.
And that's exactly what people have to understand. It's just a plot of land. That's why I don't understand why most black people get so excited about claiming Africa. It's just it's just a pile of dirt. Like the whole thing is yours. You don't want the whole thing. You just want a piece of it. Like, and I understand the psychological connection to Africa, because it's a psychological connection to Africa. You know, there are places outside of Africa that are a little bit older, that people don't realize that they can trace themselves to those places also. But anyway, I want to make sure everybody understands the difference between the reptilians and the draconians. The reptilian animal kingdom are always depicted as dinosaurs. That's just the animal kingdom, people. What do I mean by just the animal kingdom? 50,000 years from now, they're going to show pictures of pit bulls and Rottweilers and whatever animal is familiar to us. 50,000 years from now, it has evolved, you know, passed away, it's gone. They're going to think that the dogs ruled this time era. We can make it seem like dogs rule by only showing the animal kingdom of that time. And they only show us the animal kingdom of that time, which are the dinosaurs. So the fact that reptiles can be identified, at least to how we think they look, we can identify a reptile, and we can have in our mind a reptilian looking face, right? And in our mind, the reptilian looking face is the depiction of what a reptilian is, and that's far from the truth. The fact that the term reptile or reptilian is attached because you, just like a reptile, must be developed within an egg first. And like Crumb depicted, the sperm slithers it way up to the egg, but you must be incubated inside of an egg first. 3 to 5 weeks, you have gills when you begin to develop, and you breathe through these gills behind your chin. You're a fucking creature. But to continue the lineage, again, going back to flesh and bone, wood and stone, the flesh and bone now becomes the created creature, the being. So the reptilians also have a version of a creation story when man was created, because they helped to develop the being, the creature itself. Go ahead, bro.
you know, if I could just, you know, because I'm at first I was concerned. I'm like, man, he's not going to talk about the Draconians, but you know, you blew my mind with the Draconian thing so much so that I wanted to kind of put a little more flavor on the reptilian side. I'm like, damn, he kind of seemed like the Draconians took the cake, and you know, I'm a reptilian fan, team reptilian. I had a turtle when I was a child. Ninja Turtle fan.
listen, and I'm gonna let you go in. Remember now, I mentioned the Sata Queens. And I said you can't talk about the reptilians until you talk about the Sata Queens. And the Sata Queens were the mothers to the reptilians. The reptilian is just a small species of beings that come from a much bigger tree. So I was talking about the Sata Queens in the beginning, but go ahead though, continue. I want to hear about the reptilians.
Yeah, absolutely. So now when because we got to deal with history and why it's easier to deal with the Draconians versus the reptilians is because we can kind of trace them, and because Dracula's pretty famous. In terms of the reptilians, we can't really name a famous reptilian. So because their story is a little bit further back, that's where you'll find Ponder and I did a special video where we went all the way to New York. No, I'm sorry, all the way to Virginia at House of Consciousness. Excuse me. We're in a, just to let y'all know, Ponder's like outside right now. I'm like, yo, why don't you come in? And he's like, I don't know. So he's like outside, literally. Anyway, but yeah, we're both in Atlanta right now. But back when we did 26,000 years of history, that was in Virginia. So when we were in Virginia, we did 26,000 years of history, and the 26,000 years of history, we spoke about origin stories. So when you're dealing with the reptilian, you're gonna find that not humans, but mammals versus reptiles. We don't fit into the mammal box. The troglodytes, pan troglodyte is a true cultural ethnicity family. Pan troglodyte. Troglodyte is more of a mammalian. We are more reptilian. So when you're dealing with the mammals have fur. Mammals have fur that cover most of their bodies. Chimpanzees, monkeys, wombats, whatever. When you're dealing with a reptilian or something that doesn't fit inside the mammal category, you're going to deal with us and whales and dolphins. I just want y'all to know, whales and dolphins and us, we're going to be on the reptilian side more so than the mammal side. You know, we are not mammals. I just want y'all to know, dolphins are the only ones, because when you're dealing with copulation, when you're dealing with sex, most animals have sex like a beast, which is doggy style. What makes us human is having sex face to face. Dolphins naturally have sex face to face. When you're dealing with dolphins have pubic hair. Dolphins don't have fur. Dolphins have hair. They have tufts of hair, T-U-F-T, tufts of hair on their cranial cavity, tufts of hair cavity, and even tufts of hair under the arms. Go look it up. You might not see it because it's translucent, but that's where they have tufts of hair at. In addition to that, they have live births. They are the smartest species of the ocean living animals. Keep in mind, when you're dealing with a killer whale, the killer whale is a dolphin. Anyway, but going into whales, whales have hip bones. Why do animals that swim need a hip bone? The hip
because
bone.
The whale used to walk.
Whales used to walk.
Whales used to walk on land.
26,000 years of history.
Listen, the closest akin to a whale right now is a hippopotamus. A hippo can hold his breath longer than a whale. Go look up.
Hippos can't swim. A hippo can't swim. They just hold their breath.
Look.
Teach Muhammad.
Look, whales can't swim. They hold their breath and come up and go back down. They have to breathe. That's a nose. They have to come and breathe. They're mammals. Anyway.
Yeah.
Listen.
Anyway.
Continue though. Continue. But
Well,
but
you
listen,
know,
I definitely want people to understand that I wasn't skipping by the reptilians because I didn't get a chance to go into the Sata Queens. The Sata Queens are representation in the Jewish Torah, as I said, as Satan, and the serpent or reptilians are always associated with Satan because that's their motherhood. You know, that's where they come from. Those are foremothers.
I'm sorry. One more thing about the water. You just reminded me of what I wanted to say. When God came to the earth, he did not create water. God, when he came to this earth, there were people already here under the water. The God of the underwater was a reptilian female. Her name was Leviathan. Some people might know her as Gaia. You also might know her as Tiamat. In Samaria, she's Tiamat. In the Bible, she is Leviathan. God killed Leviathan. And this, the evolutionary story goes like this. They came from out of the water. Where from out of the water? I don't know, is it 200 leagues from under the sea? They still haven't even explored space doesn't go up, space goes out. Fine. We haven't even looked at space down. We haven't gone down.
Teach.
Family,
Teach, Muhammad. They haven't. They want to talk about Atlantis. Atlantis was on the surface. It was just out in the water. Atlantis was on an island. Atlantis was not underwater. It fell underwater. People get it twisted. So listen, when you mention Tiamat, right? Tiamat is mentioned in the Sumerian text, I believe, like you said, as the mother creatress. Tiamat is also the name of Earth, akin to the Greek term Ithra, mother Earth. So she was known as the mother of the earth, Tiamat. The Sata Queens.
I'm sorry. One more thing.
Sata Queens. Go ahead.
On the Draconian side, I just wanted to add this so we can talk about the Satar Queens. I just want to add this on the Draconian side. When we're dealing with Count Dracola, how do you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Count Dracola.
Count Dracola. When we're dealing with Count Dracola, or more popularly known as Count Dracula, we're dealing with hemophiliacs, family. We're dealing with hemophiliacs. You've heard of the 4 blood types, the 13 bloodlines. These are all hemophiliacs. So now, one of the most popular hemophiliacs in our century is going to be a man by the name of Al Gore. Al Gore supposedly created the internet. What controls the internet? The Al Gore rhythm. Go look it up. Don't come for me. Yeah, go watch Sparta. The first person to die in Sparta, I'm sorry, excuse me. Go watch the movie 300. The first person to die in the movie 300 was the black guy. Who was the black guy? The black guy was the messenger. Love to kill. This is Sparta. Don't come for me. I'm the messenger. Y'all Spartans love to kill the messenger. Don't come for me. Al Gore carried around blood while he was on a campaign trail going against George Bush. He had a briefcase with nothing but blood, and everybody knew it. Al Gore carried around blood the whole campaign trail, and he said he needed that blood because he was a hemophiliac. Nothing weird about it. Hey, this guy's walking around carrying a suitcase of blood everywhere he goes. I'm a hemophiliac. I need the blood. Don't think reptilian. Think Dracula. Think hemophiliac. All right, Satar Queens. I'm sorry.
No, thank you for putting them in that trance. Thank you. Put them in that trance because they definitely need it. They probably all over the place. Like, you niggas talking about all kind of crazy shit. But listen, you're gonna hear it again. You will hear it again. Crom will tell you that. You will hear this again. So a couple things that we look at real quick. is be sure to write down the Orion Empire. In the Orion Empire, Aryans, and it's spelled ARI-AN. Okay, and write down Anu, ANU, Anu. The Satai Queens, spell it this way: SSS-TA. From the TA, you get the word Satan. From the SSS, you get the SS Gestapo out of Germany. Write down Anunnaki. Write down Syrians. Syrians. Write down feudal system. Feudal system. Excuse me.
Can you spell feudal system, please?
Feudal. EUAL. Feudal. Looks almost like federal. So feudal lords, write down Dog Star. So Dog Star, Syrians, feudal lords, all the same thing. They were the elite warriors, by the way. They come from the Dog Stars, Canis Major and Canis Minor. That's what we call our dogs here, canines, the Canis family. Look up the Canis family. Now, to understand the different taxonomies, the word taxonomy is how they categorize species, because you have to be able to categorize a species to understand its origin. So we're talking about the canines from the Dog Star. Go ahead, brother.
Sorry about that. As it is above, it is below. I will be doing something later on where I break down the Dog Star, the canine, as it relates to Canaan land. That's all.
Oh, it's long. That's gonna be a good one. So write down the Akkadian Empire. Write down Enlil. It's ENLIL. Write down Enki. ENKI. Write down Nana. NANNA. Nana. Nana Sin is also a word. Write down Nana SIN. And that's all I got for you guys. Those are your vocabulary words from this lesson from today, because you're not going to be able to understand any of it until you go look for yourself. Man is not a block of wood, you know. Man known by being told. So I'm going to give you guys the keys to unlock some of this information dealing with the reptilians and the draconians. And again, if you watch Star Wars or Stargate Atlantis and all those fucking fairy tale ass whatever documentaries and shows and series, if you got in your mind that a reptilian, I'm gonna tell you what a reptilian look like. A reptilian looks like this. Look up Sobek. Could you do that right quick on Google? SOBEK. Sobek.
All right.
We're gonna show you guys because you know our people requires pictorial teaching, hieroglyphs. I'm only giving y'all a few words, but a picture is worth 1,000 of them. So click on the image. There you go. There you go, people. Ancient Egypt.
Brother, are you saying this Egyptian god was a reptilian? So when we're dealing with these reptilians, it even goes back to ancient Egypt. Well, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm not gonna. A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Listen. Ancient Egypt is a baby compared to how old the reptilians are. And if you want to see a picture of another reptilian god, look up Thundercats. Mum-Ra. When it comes on, Mum-Ra transformed the avatar ancient Enads around Mum-Ra. Two of them are reptilians. One is a frog man, one is a crocodile man.
Whoa, okay, hold on. I think I know what you're talking about.
And we understand. Like, and I'm just drawing in his chambers, yeah. And family, I'm just drawing a connection between ancient Egypt. You just saw Sobek, which was a deity in ancient Egypt, right? And I'm bringing you back to Egypt through mummification. And Ra, that's Ra mummified. Ra mummified. Once Ra mummified, who was a avatar for these Enads, these ancient Enads, the reptilian. At the end,
Mum-Ra was an avatar for the reptilians.
So how the reptilians would charge Mum-Ra up into his human form, they would charge the Kundalini vipers in Mum-Ra's chest. And the Kundalini vipers from Mum-Ra's chest would then rise up to the crown chakra. You see the two reptilians on his crown. Go ahead, brother.
Can somebody press 1 if the ministers just ruined your childhood? Can somebody press 1 if the minister just ruined your childhood with that Mum-Ra thing? All right, I'm done. That's all I had. Whatever.
Listen. Go back to the picture of Mum-Ra right quick, because I want people like, what are you talking about? Pull up the picture of Mum-Ra real quick, brother. Click just on the picture, the single joints. I can show them up close.
Yeah, okay. I know exactly. I know where you're going with this. Let me find him. Mum-Ra. Let me find his tail. Where is he at? Is that him? Yeah, that's a good one, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So look, zoom in on the chest. First of all, let's go down to the Hebrew kilt he got on. Go down. Tassels. Okay, Hebrew all day. Go back up.
Damn, Gina.
Right there on the chest. The Kundalini vipers right there, right? Heart chakra goes up. Keep going up. And look at that crown, the two vipers.
How'd I miss that?
Yeah, man.
Wait,
that's the
that
kingdom.
even looks like the Uraeus almost.
That's where the Uraeus comes from. Oh, that comes from the Uraeus. You see what I'm saying?
Yo. Okay.
Yes, sir. Right there in ancient Egypt.
Well, there you have it. Reptilians, the Draconians. We don't. Yeah. Right there. He was the avatar, and he was powered by this reptilian serpent energy.
Yes.
With his Hebrew Israelite. I be seeing the Hebrew Israelites with them the little ruffles and joint at the bottom of their jank. How did you even catch this? Like when you were a kid, really? What the hell was Ponder doing as a child? I was outside playing.
That's the science. And look. I'm gonna show you one more thing. That Thundercat symbol with that cat is the god Best. The god Best is the same god, the deity they was talking about in Wakanda.
That's Muhammad. Right. Teach Muhammad.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh shit! While we on it, Crumb, once again, and I'm still talking about the Thundercats. Where do they come from? Where did the Thundercats come from?
Oh yeah. They came from Thundera.
And what happened to Thundera?
Thundera. It was the same story as Superman, where his home planet was destroyed, and he had to colonize another planet. Wow. Okay.
That's exactly what it was. And we know that there was a cat-like deity that protected the Thundercats. Right? and this deity, right? And I'm going somewhere with this shit in a minute. Just follow me. This deity gave what's his name? Lionel a sword. And this sword was a sword of omen. But he could only activate this sword of omen by putting on the lion's paw, tribe of Judah.
Oh my God.
Freemasons, Hiram Abiff, raising him up with the lion's paw. So the lion's paw activated the sword of omens, and it opened up his third eye. And he said, give me sight beyond sight. Come on, man. Y'all know the fucking story.
The sword had his third eye in it.
Y'all heard the story.
Come on, man.
Y'all heard the story.
Okay.
But Mon-Ra was the protector over the chambers, because they wanted access in the fucking chambers. They wanted to come in them chambers and get that ancient knowledge out of there. And Mon-Ra was kicking their ass every time. That's all that was. Mon-Ra was not the bad guy.
Wow.
Mon-Ra was the protector of the ancient scrolls, because they came to this planet. How the fuck you come to our planet trying to fight us? This Mon-Ra like, nah, bro, you just got here. Mon-Ra like, I've been here. I'm the ancient of old. I've been here.
That's why
you just came here from your planet.
So old.
Right.
Oh.
So okay. I just wanted to put it together for the family. I wanted to come on the reptilian side for a little bit. I feel like I wasn't giving them no justice. Right. So there's the reptilian part for your family, and there's the draconian part for you. But on a serious matter, like seriously, go study off the planet. Go look up the Palladian star system in the actual Draco star system, and then you could tie it into Revelation. Book of Revelation speaks about a virgin standing in a moon with a child over her head, trying to protect the child from the dragon coming in, and that star system is Virgo, or the Virgin, right? And the sun is our sun, and the dragon, or the Draco star system, is coming into alignment with our star system, and this is the Great Invasion. This is the dragon coming out of the sea with the 7 heads, 7 crowns, the 7 kingdoms, the planetary kingdoms in the book of Revelation. But I won't give it away. Go study for yourself. You got the tools. Go study for yourself.
Well, brother, we've hit the hour mark. Can you tell the people who you are and, of course, where they can find you?
Absolutely. Come over to Instagram. Give me a Grammy on Minister Informing. Minister Informing. I'm everywhere, man. Just Google Chef J Ponder, man. You know what it is, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Only on Crumb TV.
I appreciate you, brother. It really means a lot. You already know what it is, family. It's been another installation of Crumb TV. I'll leave you the exact same way I came to you, family.
This is the real Remy Brad, and I support Crumb TV.
It's IG No Flex Zone. You are now watching Crumb TV.
Hey, this is Reggae Boy, and I'm watching Crumb TV.
And you're watching Crumb TV.
What's up? This is your brother Walsh Red, and you're now watching